Again. Um, Welcome in, everybody. Give us just like 20 seconds to get things rolling. Okay, I think we're live, Max.
Beautiful. I'm glad I go early on Mondays because I always forget about this.
Oh yeah,
So I'm glad I go early on Whatnot.
I know that's really nice. Otherwise, you were rushing like a crazy person.
Yeah. I try to
Okay,
do
we're
that show in a half hour. Don't
yeah,
need to go
yeah.
anymore.
Now you start like an hour and a half early, so you got a little buffer. Welcome in, everybody, to episode 58 of Pick Our Brains. I am Kent, one of your hosts. And who are you, sir?
Earth Shaker, Moonraker,
Ah, what is
Money Maker.
okay, okay.
It's Max.
Look
Common
who's number
Ground Finds and Paper Gold.
look who's number one in the chat. Can you see
I'm
the
not
chat?
even there. I'm not even there yet.
Okay, let's see if you can get in the chat.
I'll get in.
Yep.
There we go.
So
The
I was a little bit,
Hobbit is number one.
yep, number one in the
When are we
chat.
giving away gifts? When are we giving away gifts?
Maybe episode 75.
Doesn't Neil deserve a book?
Yeah, he does. If you want to mail him a book, you can.
All right, Neil, I'm going to mail you a book from Kent.
Okay. So I was in a rush. I picked out, I kind of picked out my new Jeep. Um, it's going to be a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, red, like my old
Wait,
one.
wait, wait. Are you telling me you're making money as a bookseller and you're going to get a new Jeep?
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm probably going to trade it in and pay cash for the
And I
extra.
thought people weren't making money on books anymore.
Well,
That's
yeah.
what I heard.
I guess we did all right last year, and this year hopefully. Though I told you this. This can't be a complete just whatnot show. We need to talk about other stuff besides whatnot,
Of
Max.
course.
But I told you I had kind of a slow show yesterday. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. The book market's dying, but today it was right back to normal. The Hobbit says I'm still waiting for that Bible. Are you supposed to mail him a Bible?
No, he wants that Ethiopian Bible that's going to be
Oh,
selling on February 11th.
yes. Y'all go follow Common Ground Finds. For he's doing a jaw dropper books from the 1700s, 1800s, and 1900s, antique, collectible, rare,
February
beautiful
11th.
leather,
Yep.
vellum, leather, fine bindings, all that stuff. So, tune into his sale next Wednesday. It's going to be a staggering sale, and then the
Is
week
it next
after,
Wednesday?
yeah, I think it's yep the
Wow.
11th. And then next Tuesday, I am doing, or the Tuesday after that on the 17th, I'm doing my extra special rare collectible book
Yeah,
sale.
usually I go a week before you or you go a week before me, but we always plan it out to be a week apart.
Speaking of which, we have to schedule our March shows. Maybe you can go March 11th. I'll go the 17th. Wait, usually they don't line up like that. You can go the 11th and I'll go the 17th of February, and then for March we can do the same days, 11th and 17th. I like that. Nice and
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah.
All right, welcome in, everybody. I was just on the phone when we started, or like 2 minutes before we started. So me and Max haven't had the chance to talk. I was on the phone with an estate that reached out to me about 2.5 hours away, and they have a house full of books. And they sent me pictures, and there's definitely some unexciting stuff. Literature, poetry. I don't get too
Oh
over
gosh. Oh, the worst. The worst. Literature and
modern.
poetry.
Okay, the caveat: modern. I don't get overly excited about modern literature and poetry. I don't get too excited about a modern hardcover with the poetry of Robert Burns, for example. Those maybe those can go to Florida. But the family, it's kind of one of those situations. Most estates, they got multiple family members that inherit it, and they all someone's in charge, and they all have to figure out how to do it. And
Right.
so, I think next Thursday morning, I will go check out the collection. They send me pictures of about 15 shelves of stuff on the second story, but then she hasn't sent me pictures of the books downstairs, and she did say that the stuff smells musty. Some of the stuff on the main floor smells musty. So if they brought up a musty smell, the house smelled musty and the books probably smelled musty, it's got to be serious for someone to call you and say, "Hey, my buck, yeah, I got some cool books, but they smell musty." They are maybe bad. They may
Can
be
I
very
tell
bad.
everybody how this is going to play out already, knowing you?
I'm gonna make them an offer that's way too
You're
high,
you're
and
you're
then they're
going
gonna
to
say,
you're going to try to convince yourself
"Mhm,
that the 50 books that you do want is worth paying up to get them, even though you're going to have to deal with all the headaches. Then you're going to call me and I'm going to say, this may be one you want to walk away from. And then you're going to say, yeah, you're probably right. And then the next phone call I get 12 minutes later will be you saying you bought them all.
and then I'm gonna sell them, and I'm gonna get all kinds of planes because they stink musty. I'm gonna way overpay, and I'm gonna struggle to break even. That's the cycle of my life: overpaying. And well, okay, this
Let's tell everybody how I always tell you
yeah.
not to
And
overpay.
if they're musty, I should offer to take them off their hands for free. But you know, I'm gonna pay up for them. I will keep you all posted on them.
Yes, because there's
We
going to
don't we
be
don't know. We
50
don't
that
know.
you want. There's going to be
We don't know
50
how
you want.
stinky they are. I showed Max a picture. You know, most of it's modern stuff, but I saw about 40 or 50 Victorian fine bindings, which the Hobbit in the chat, he knows I'm gonna do a Victorian fine binding show, and it's probably gonna go really well. But let's transition this into dealing with stinky books. Why not? That's a great topic. And again, if anyone has any book selling questions, yep, Rare Books USA says packed house. We got 17
Yeah.
people watching. Um, yes, let's talk about dealing with stinky books.
Well, you do it more than I do it.
It's a major pain in
Yeah,
the ass. Don't
yeah,
do it. Don't do
yeah.
it. That's all I can say.
I will walk away from that deal 99.9% of the time. I know one of the things you've done recently is you bought the oxygenator,
Ozone.
the ozone thing, yeah. And so you'll put time in to take the musty smell away from books. Um, I'm just not. I'm just. they'd have to be very special for me
Mhm.
to want to go through the extra time. I mean, my time is already booked as my
Yeah.
business is now.
So basically, you get this little ozone generator that does a chemical reaction. It turns O2 oxygen into O3, and then that's how somehow clings to moldy, musty, smoky smells somehow magically. I don't know how it works, but I will say I've upgraded my ozone generator twice now. I got the first one, then upgraded it to a bigger model, then a bigger model, and it works. But usually, I will put them in a storage tote, fan out the pages, so you can do about 10 to 15 books at a time. You run it for an hour, and then I open it up, air it out for a while, then I run it for another hour. And it's still, if you really put your nose in, it's an issue. It's still a minor issue, but it can take a stinky, musty, or smoky book and just about make it saleable. It's not 100%, but I told you one time I bought a musty collection of a
Right.
few hundred books and ozoned them, aired them out, and I did not get a single complaint on any of the books.
Yeah.
So if
Eh,
people
eh,
aren't complaining, it's
right.
good enough.
But for the viewers watching and listening to us, I think the main difference between you and I is geographically, I have more books available to me, so I know I can walk away and
Yeah.
maybe find something 3 days later. You being more a little bit of a rural area, you do have to travel a long time to go get books.
And it's worth it. If you're doing if you're ozone generating $20 to $30 books or more expensive books, it's worth it. Spend a little bit of time. It's just a little side project. It takes a few minutes here and a few minutes there in my day. Um, but otherwise, I've tried dryer sheets. You can air them out for months and months, and airing books out for months and months doesn't help the smell as far as I can tell. It's so minimal. Dryer sheets helps a tiny bit, but then they kind of smell like dryer sheets, which is better than musty smell. And it's worth it if you can save $100 to $200 every time you're running that ozone machine.
Right.
It's worth it.
But that's where I would like you to be more intentional when you make a deal, because you're not adding up the amount of time it's going to take you to deal with that. And I would rather you not overpay for books, but like you said earlier, I'll take them off your hands.
I remember I went to an estate sale, and yep, the Hobbit agrees. Dealing with stinky books is the story of his life too, Max. We got to make a living, and if we got some smoky old books, we're gonna do our best to make them saleable and make that money. And you know what? It can be a lever in your bargaining to say, hey, these books stink. I got to put a lot of work into it. I can give you next to nothing if I had that mentality and could do that and hold firm and let books go if they say, nah, we'll sell them to someone
Sure.
else. Um, but it could be a great negotiating tool. But actually, I went to an estate sale about 5 years ago. It was a shed and a garage and a shipping container full of books, and they were all very musty and stinky. Some of them were literally caked in white mold, like a snowy layer of white mold. That's how bad some of them were. So I spent all day, I probably spent 4 or 5 hours boxing shit up and digging through trash. It was dirty, dusty, rat infested place. Probably spent 4 or 5 hours digging shit out. And then when it came time to negotiate, the guy in charge of the estate, he's like, oh, make an offer. And I think I offered him like $300. And he's like, oh, no, no, no. Like, this is going to be like $1,500. And I'm like, well, like, this stuff is like really musty, moldy, stinky. Like, it's going to be so much work. And like, I think I ended up giving $1,100. He was to the point where if I wasn't going to give him $1,100, he wasn't going to sell it to me. And I bought it and I made nice money, but it was a huge project. Um, it's tough to walk away after a long day of digging through stinky books, moldy books, and just say, no, not worth my time. What? I make a living somehow,
Did
you know.
did the white mold that stuck to the exterior of your lungs include that price?
I know I didn't wear a mask. My lungs are I got mushrooms growing in my lungs, but no, my lungs are. I should take better care of my lungs as a bookseller. Art wants to know, does trying to save a decent book worth your time? Time is valuable. The same effort into sourcing may be more. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's a major pain in the ass, and then it's gonna stink up your bookstore, your back storage room and stuff.
Mhm.
Um,
You got to
I
have
guess it
space. You got
depends.
to have space, though.
It depends. Like this collection coming up, there's a lot of like $20 to $50 Victorian fine bindings. Now, if they're stinky and I need to put the time in, I really can't pay more than a few bucks a piece, but we'll see.
We should, you know what? Not that you got the deal yet. You didn't get the deal yet.
No,
You don't know.
no,
You don't know.
I'm just going
Right.
next Thursday to give them my
Right.
opinion, tell
And
them,
and and also one of the variants in this deal is like you said earlier, there's a lot of family members.
yeah.
So their piece of the pie in the deal is going to be cut, 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 cut between
Mhm.
3 or 4 people. So that if they have higher aspirations of a number and you don't give them that number, you give them a less number and then they have to cut that up 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
But what we should do is we should ask all the people in the chat how much they think you're going to spend on this deal.
I think if the books weren't stinky, I would offer them at least 3 grand, I think, for the collection.
I
If they
hope they're
weren't
not
stinky,
watching. I hope they're not watching.
no, they're not. Hopefully not. Uh, but that's kind of where I'm at as far as the value if they're not stinky.
And
And
and no
also,
lie, no lie. You would offer three. You know
yeah,
me well. What would I offer?
$500.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah.
If that. Yeah. Max is a cheap bugger. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I can make a lot of, well, I don't know. I need to see the stuff because the pictures are kind of blurry. You see 3 shelves along a wall, and I see some stuff that looks like Victorian fine bindings, but I don't see the titles. If there's a Poe in there, it's a lot better. If there's no Poe, if they're damaged and stinky, I need to see them in person, but I will keep you all updated. That's not happening for a week and a half. Grayson says, yeah, you basically curated the good stuff for him at that point too. Yep, yep, that's true. I spent hours digging through every single box, every bookshelf, thousands and thousands and thousands of books, and dug out all the best stuff. Yeah, yeah, that was pain in the ass. I did have an early, it might have been a first printing of This Side of Paradise or something, or really early printing
Mhm.
without a dust jacket. The cover was stained, and I sold it as being a strong musty smell, and I think it brought $700. So I found one really really good book, plus just bread and butter $20 to $30 books, lots of those. Rare Books USA says dealing with books in already saleable condition saves me time and more customer concerns. Yep, that's true. I mean, ideally, you want to deal if you're going to buy a Charles Dickens set, you don't want them to be beat up with the covers just about falling off. You don't want damaged and staining stuff. You want the nicest condition humanly possible, and that's how you're gonna make your money. It's just so much more difficult to sell a beat up, damaged book.
You know,
Are you
selling books is a great passion
getting?
of ours,
Are you
but
suffering?
it is a hard business. It's tough to do, and making it even harder could be stressful. So
Yeah.
that's why I tend to walk away from those deals.
Yep. Oh, we got Miss Lachey Resells 3853. She's been here before. She
Yeah,
said you
I haven't seen her in a while. I hope she's doing well.
yeah, she said you spent too much time dealing with books before the negotiation, so he knew they were already that you were already interested. Well, I just had a quick conversation with the owner. Well, and actually her sister sent me the pictures of the books. So then I finally talked to the one sister that's in charge of the whole estate, or at least of the books. So we just had a quick conversation, quick 10-minute conversation. And I kind of said, like, do you have a price in mind? What are you thinking? I one of the things I like to do, Max, and this is probably a good tip if you're negotiating on a one book or a collection. Well, I guess it's just a collection, is I like to say, I'll give you two offers, especially with if it is going to be the size of me renting a U-Haul truck and paying labor or what and storage units and all that. I usually say, hey, um, I will offer you maybe like $1,000 if I have to take it all, or $2,000 if I can
Mhm.
cherry pick and not deal with the worthless or less valuable stuff that I don't want to mess with. That's usually the way I go into a lot of these big collection deals. And a lot of times they will take less money and you take it all and then their shelves are empty, the house is empty, the garage is empty, whatever. That's the way a lot of those
But it's
negotiations.
also important not to show the buyer or the seller what the good books are, because if you don't make a deal, you've already showed them what the good books are, and now they know what to do with it.
Yep. Stan's Cutlery Universe. I think that's a new commenter there. Says, can the bad smell transfer to your books that are good? It can definitely stink up a room pretty easily. And again, if there's active mold spores, I know people worry about that, especially if you're in a more damp climate. People would suggest if you get a stinky box of books, leave it in the garage away from other books, just so it doesn't stink up your other stuff. Grayson said, would you guys ever move locations of your operation? And is there anything you would have done differently about the place you acquired, knowing what you know now? Wow.
Well,
Max.
I mean, I live where I saw. I mean, I'm right next to my kitchen right here. This is where I do my business.
So unless Max goes finds another
Yeah,
house in Florida,
and for those people that know me well, they know that I love my house. I love my backyard. I love my neighborhood. I mean, it would be very hard to get me out of here because I have a pretty large house for me, um, which affords me a lot of space to run this business. But I also have a great house with a great backyard, and it's
you
just a
definitely
cool
need
area.
you definitely need more space. If you had
Yeah,
another bedroom or two or like a bigger garage or something, it would be you can and everyone can use more space. You
yeah,
always run out of space in
yeah,
your house. Max, can you pan to your books over on that way? Your living room's that way, right?
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, you'll only get a shelf. You only see a shelf.
Okay. But
Yeah.
like Max has like in your entryway to your house, you have like shelves.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's where the
So
leather bounds are.
yeah, yeah. Is your living room has any shelves or no?
Just a few.
Yeah, a few, but
Yeah,
not crazy. Not like he
yeah.
can actually use it as a living
No,
room.
my garage is where I house most of my books.
Yeah. Yeah. And as far as me, I think about this a lot. My building isn't big enough. I don't really have the most ideal living quarters. So I may in the next 5 years get the building paid off, and I own some land about half an hour away. That's a little more rural. Right now I'm on a busy U.S. highway, but I may move my operation to a more quiet location. Um, it's not going to have the traffic being on a busy highway, but I may move to a quiet location with a more nice living quarters and more retail space because I ran out of retail space instantly. My storage rooms are overflowing. I have a couple
Hmm.
storage units, so yeah, I need more space. I'm not sure if I want to invest a couple 100,000 into putting an addition on this building, but we'll see. I'm comfortable for now. Junkman says I'm unloading a car full of books and groceries. I will listen in a few. Thanks, guys. Welcome in, Junkman. We still don't know who you are. Still a mystery, but welcome. Any other questions? This
I wanted to bring something up
okay.
that you and I have been talking about for a couple of days, and I know you want to get off the whatnot train,
Yeah, we can talk about
but
whatnot.
but I don't think we should be ignoring this.
Okay.
Mr. Beast.
Oh, here, I'll pull up that Instagram post quick.
To
Mr.
me,
Beast,
this is major, major
huge.
development.
eBay has never in the history of eBay has eBay done something this cool. Never, ever, ever, ever has eBay done something this cool. So Mr. Beast is going to be live. What day?
Why don't you bring the show up?
He is going to be live. Oh, on Super Bowl morning, right?
Hmm.
Yep, the Sunday before the big game.
No, no,
He's
the game is Sunday,
is it game day? It's game day. Yeah, yeah,
6:30.
February 8th. February 8th. Look at this, guys. Mr. Beast on his Instagram. See that? He's
How many
giving.
how many people does he have bookmarked for the show already?
I gotta go look.
Yeah, please let everybody know.
So Mr. Beast is going to be live for a couple hours on Sunday morning before the Super Bowl, giving away $1 million worth of stuff, and like he's giving away cash, Lamborghinis, who knows what else. He has 44,000 bookmarks. Guaranteed, this is going to be the biggest whatnot show ever in history. I think he's going to have easily 100,000 viewers.
How can you even if you had 30 moderators, you can't control that.
I don't think the site is. I don't know if the site can handle that big. I mean, I've seen shows with
Couple
a
hundred.
thousand or a couple. No, there's shows with a couple thousand
Mm.
viewers. I think some of the Rolex watch shows get
Okay,
insane.
yep.
Um, but this is going to be like whatnot shattering. It's going to shatter the site and bring in more publicity than any stunt eBay has. You know, eBay does cool charity auctions and stuff every year, but this is like it's Mr. Beast. He's the biggest YouTuber ever in history. So yeah,
Got
that's going to
lots of
be
questions, Ken. And
okay.
also
Yeah.
Ben and Emily are here from Green
Yeah.
Bay.
Oh, cool.
Emily, one of our newest members, and Ben, her
Yep.
father, and Paper Gold.
Yep. Yes, welcome in, Ben and Emily. We do this. I think they've watched our Pick Our Brains
And we
before.
are very excited to have her and her father in Paper Gold, and I'm excited to introduce them Thursday night to everybody.
Yeah, they have to come to the Thursday meeting. It's will be really cool to meet them and for them to meet all the booksellers and stuff all over the country. I'm thinking Green Bay, so I'm a couple of 2.5 hours, 3 hours from them, but then there's a couple of people in the Milwaukee area that would probably be a similar distance. Miss Lachey says, "Are you seeing any changes in the book world with the introduction of AI listing programs?" Well, me and Max have talked. Max, we have, wow, do we have 29 people watching? We have 29 people watching. I think that's a record. Welcome in, everybody. Put your book related questions in the chat.
I mean,
Um,
this is a great question from Miss Lachey,
okay, what are your thoughts?
and the easy. I mean, from my perspective, and you've been following me with these stories, but how I have met one on one with at least four different software developers in the past 3 to 4 months who have new programs utilizing AI to help list, and they have wanted my ideas, my curiosity, my questions, my developmental ideas. They've been picking my brain for these sort of things. So what I have seen is that software is going to be taking a huge leap in the next year to three.
Yeah, I think I think what it's there because there's a lot of paper golders using List Perfectly and List Easier, and if they're trying
Mhm.
different AI programs where basically you just upload your photos, eBay completely makes the listing. Maybe you have to enter the pricing and the weight information, but it's
Mhm.
going to do your title, your item specifics, your description, all of that stuff.
Mhm.
And it's scraping the internet to know what the best keywords to put in the title are.
But I met with someone the other day, and
Yeah.
their software now prices the book at the
Yeah.
most targeted price.
And I think a lot of the big people are gonna be like, yeah, I don't need to do that research. I trust eBay because like they know they can take all the historical data for that
Mhm.
book and price it accordingly, just like the Amazon people do. They
Right.
trust softwares to reprice their stuff. So I get the feeling it's gonna lead to a flooding of the market because now you're going from being able to list 20 or 30 books a day to now all you got to do is snap photos and click upload, and now you can list 100 books a day. And same with these big dogs are going to use it, and they're going to be uploading tens of thousands of listings. They're
Well,
doing it.
the big Amazon slash eBay sellers have been using similar software for a couple years now, especially with the conveyor belts. But the technology is getting more and more advanced now, especially with AI, that more information is now coupled with the book. And I think the idea of still giving people better customer service than the big boys is always
Mhm.
going to win over the big boys. So
Yeah.
as long as you give better customer service and you are friendly and you are not so automated, you're going to have a great business. There's more questions in the chat, Kent. I
No, I
know we
know.
usually end at
I know.
6:15, so you better answer some questions.
Asia says you want to get off of whatnot. No, I just am trying to get Max to not and me to not just make this the only whatnot chit chat because we do like to talk about Amazon and eBay and Etsy and all the other stores, bookstores, sourcing, all that stuff. And Okay, Asia says prepare for what not to crash. I think it's got to crash. There's no way they can prepare for this. Uh, Emily is wondering where do you obtain most of your books? So me and Max do things way differently. And actually, I would say one of the other things a lot of people in Paper Gold are doing is they're doing free book pickups. They offer that service, and it allows them to get books for nothing. Now they're probably dealing with a lesser quality and value book, but that's one way they do it. I get most of my inventory online auctions, eBay, and like Live Auctioneer and stuff. I do get a lot also from having my bookstore and people bringing them into me to try to sell me, and then also antique stores and bookstores around the state as well.
But here's what I'm excited for.
Okay.
One of my big things is business cards with all the Paper Gold members.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
cannot wait for Ben and Emily to sit side by side in front of a computer
Mm.
and make Emily a business card for her book business. Oh,
Yeah.
people don't know. Emily is 13 years old.
Yeah.
People don't know that. And so I can't wait in the next couple weeks when Ben, her father, and Emily get ready to make a business card. And then Emily has her own business card to really start handing out to people. And at her very young age, to start networking as a bookseller. That's going to be a very exciting time for me.
Yep. Absolutely. Do you wanna? I'm changing something quick. Do you want to answer any upcoming questions?
Let's see. I mean, as far as where do I get books from? I get books. Emily, I go to flea markets, estate sales, garage sales, library sales. There is no shortage of me finding books. I find books every day of my life. Um, the tricky part is to know what to buy, what to source, so you know that you can sell books. It's not just about buying them, but you have to be able to sell them. And so there's two different patterns. Everyone loves the source, everyone loves to go hunting, but not everybody loves to list them, put them on a shelf, wait for them to sell. So you have to understand the larger framework of a business.
And one of the brilliant ways that Max has built his business, and I would like more of my business to be in the near future, is consignment deals. So there's people all over the country that Max has been building relationships with through consignment, where they just mail him books and he lists them and sells them and mails them a check every month for what sells. And Max has been building relationships like that with Faith Farm with schools, libraries,
Friends of the
estate sale
libraries across
people.
the
Yep.
country. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a huge way. All these estate sale people need a way to get rid of their books. And there's lots of paper golders that are making connections with estate sale people and saying, hey, call me if there's a lot of books. I'll come take them all. Either I'll buy them from you, I'll make you an offer, or I'll do them on consignment. And that's probably something I would like to expand for my business this year. Anthony Thomas Experience says, good evening, everybody. Welcome in, Anthony. Any other questions? Any other topics you want to talk about, Max?
Well, no, I mean, I wanted it. That Mr. Beast thing is very
Oh, yeah.
intriguing
Yeah.
to me because that's also coming on the heels of Gary V being on Whatnot with Gary V and friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're now starting to get the two largest influencers,
Hmm.
the two largest social media influencers out there now both on Whatnot. What is I just think it's going to grow. It's going to rise very sharply. It's just more and more people are learning about what Whatnot is, the same way people were learning what eBay and Amazon was in the early to mid 90s. It's the same
Well,
pattern.
yeah. And then there was a huge rock band. I forget what their name was, that they're on there regularly now, selling merchandise and
Yeah.
getting crazy prices. And then also um I forget who the seller was. It was some one of the larger sellers, and Damien from Shark Tank was on with
Oh,
him
yes,
watching
yes,
and
yes.
chatting and stuff. He was live on camera.
Mhm.
Uh and the guy actually he did a discount sale on one item, and I think he had like 200 of them, and he clicks live and sold out of 200 like $30 items within about less than 10 seconds.
Mhm.
Just instantly he had a crowd to sell them out. And I think there's going to be a lot of that. Could be the next big thing, is celebrities selling their merchandise. If Beyonce or Taylor Swift or someone got on there, they would get 20,000 or 50,000 people watching and buying their merchandise. Yeah, it'd be crazy. Oh, Falling in Reverse was the rock band
Yes.
that was on there, and they sell insane like tens of thousands of dollars in merchandise every sale. Anything else new?
No, it's just so busy. I got plenty of my shipper came today and we still have about 70 things to ship. So she's
I
got to
know.
come tomorrow for shipping.
It's been a busy day. I got my Whatnot show done. Then I ran to town, did the grocery shopping, picked out my new Jeep, hopefully. Um, and yeah, just got home like 10 minutes before we started. Started making my famous chicken cabbage soup. If you want the recipe, feel free to reach out. It's
No,
actually
no,
really,
no,
it's
nobody
actually,
asked for the recipe. He also makes enough for 3 weeks in a row, and that's all he'll eat for 3 weeks.
a little over a week.
Nobody asked for a recipe, please.
A little over a week. All right. A couple more questions. We're going to wrap things up. Anthony wants to know what is going on with Mr. Beast on Whatnot. So, Sunday before the Super Bowl, he is going to be doing $1 million worth of giveaways on a live stream. Just giveaways. He's not selling anything. He's just doing giveaways. He's giving away money, cash, cars, Lamborghinis, iPhones, who knows, all that stuff. So,
Enter
I'm sure
giveaway.
it's going to be so crazy.
I'm
Junkman says,
yeah.
did Kent calculate a break even and profit for the dollar sale? Storage, U-Haul, advertising tables, table rent, labor. No, not yet. Disposal plant, no. I'm definitely falling behind. Shoot, I got to get on that, get that figured out. Let's
Well,
hear
every
it.
time I bring it up, you tell me not to talk about it.
I tell you to relax. It'll come together. No, I do need to start um, getting things together for that. So thank you, Junkman, for the motivation. I will work on that tomorrow morning.
He won't do it.
No, I will. I need to. It's this summer's going so fast. All right. I think that's all.
Did you say the summer's going fast?
End of winter. It's almost spring. Happy Groundhog's Day, by the way. Did Puxatony Phil see his shadow? Or is that happened
Yeah.
already?
And a happy birthday to my father, who on February 3rd, tomorrow is his birthday.
Happy birthday to
Yeah.
my brother
Yeah.
yesterday,
Yeah.
Craig,
Okay.
February 1st. 1 second. I just want to. Oh, and we got Wardell in the chat. Welcome in, Wardell. Okay, I gotta check the groundhog results quick, and then we'll end the show. Groundhog's Day. He sees his shadow, predicting 6 more weeks of winter. Darn it! Son of a gun. It's too bad. All right, another excellent show, Max. Thank you for joining me.
Loved it. Loved it. I would love to see the title Stinky Books, Mr. Beast, and Stinky Booksellers.
I will be making some more YouTube videos in the near future.
Beard King Picker just popped into.
Oh, did he ask a question or just said hi?
No, 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 no more winter.
Welcome in, Beard King. You're late. I think he was without power for a few days here, so that's tough. Tough to be a bookseller without power.
That's it.
That's it. Thank you all for joining us. We appreciate it. We'll see you next Monday. We've been on a roll. I think this is 4 or 5 weeks in a row.
And
We've made
we
it.
had almost 30 people today.
I know. That was awesome. Thank you all.